Hi, my name is Carrie Barton. Welcome to my kitchen in Keller, Texas. Today I'm going to make an amazing appetizer. It's called Sun-Dried Tomato and Basil Torte, and I use Philadelphia cream cheese in this recipe. And I use this for a lot of things, but this is a crowd pleaser. It tastes like $1,000,000 and looks like $1,000,000. When you take it to a party, you're going to be a hit. The first thing that I have to do is I have to roast a 1/4 cup of pine nuts in a 350-degree oven for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're nicely browned. The second thing that I need to do is I need to core and seed 1 jalapeno, and it's depending upon how hot you like things. Of course, you can leave some seeds in it if you like it a little spicy. And we just want to chop this up. It can just be a rough chop. We're going to put it in a food processor, so don't stress out about trying to get it just perfect. Everything's relative. Second thing I'm going to do is go ahead and peel and rough chop 1 shallot. Okay, the next thing we need is 1 garlic clove. So go ahead and pull that out. So the first thing you want to do is lightly coat the inside of your pan with a non-stick spray, and then we want to line the pan with some clear plastic wrap. It's a little sticky, but you work through it. All right, so let's start using our food processor and start adding our ingredients into the food processor. The first thing we need is a stick of butter that has been softened on the countertop for an hour or 2. Don't want it to be really melted, but soft. All right, and then the next thing we need is Philadelphia cream cheese, and we're going to use approximately 4 ounces of an 8-ounce container. So we're going to take this, and I use 1/3 less fat. Okay, so we're going to take a block of cream cheese and we're going to half it. So we have approximately 4 ounces. We're going to add that to our 1 stick of butter, and I have this is room temperature as well. And we can wrap that up and save it for another recipe. Okay, and then once we get our cream cheese and our butter in our food processor, we can go ahead and add the jalapeno and the shallot and the garlic clove. The next thing we need is feta cheese with tomato and basil spices. And you can get this at your local grocery store's deli counter. And there's a variety of flavors. I think this lends itself really nicely to the dish. So, and we just need 4 ounces. And this is a 6-ounce container. So slightly over half of our container. We just put that in there. Okay, just kind of eyeball it. All right. Now then, we're going to use some vermouth, and we're going to use 2 tablespoons of vermouth. This kind of is the liquid that binds this all together and provides a little bit of acid. Okay, once we have all those ingredients in, and we're just gonna whirl this together. You want to make sure that you process this to a smooth consistency. You don't want a big chunk of jalapeno or shallot or garlic in your mouth. This should be kind of a smooth, cheesy, pasty texture with the ingredients lending a flavor to the cream cheese rather than a texture to the cream cheese. So once you have that all done, then your cheese is ready to go. Now then we just need to start layering our dish. And this is the torte part of the dish. First thing we should do quickly is let's chop some sun-dried tomatoes. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle the bottom of our prepared dish with the pine nuts. It's a 1/4 cup. of browned pine nuts and kind of just spread them out a little bit. And then right on top of that, we're going to take our sun-dried tomatoes, and I think probably the best way to do this is just with your fingers so that you sprinkle them evenly on the bottom. It looks a little bit like this. So far you've got pine nuts and sun-dried tomatoes. And then the next component is our pesto. And this is super simple. It's a prepared food item from your grocery store. So we'll just take our pesto and we're just gonna put some pesto right on top of the tomatoes. Okay, once you have that, let's take a peek at that. You've got the pine nuts on the bottom, then you've got the sun-dried tomatoes, and then on top of that you have the pesto. Beautiful. Okay, so you just pull the cheese mixture and take a look at that. If you can see the mixture, you can tell they're just tiny pieces of all the ingredients that we put in earlier. It's gonna go right on top. Then you just wanna spread that evenly around your dish. And once you're finished with that, then you just want to take the tops of your plastic wrap and just kind of fold them over the top, making a little package almost. This is what it'll look like. And this goes into the refrigerator, and you can refrigerate this up to 2 to 4 hours. Okay, our torte has been in the refrigerator for several hours, and now we're ready to plate it and taste it. First thing we want to do is take the plastic wrap off of the top. And then choose a pretty little plate in your kitchen. I'm just using a white plate with a rim. And all the colors look so beautiful once this is plated, and I really like just a plain white plate. I think shows off the dish really well. It slides out. You're gonna lift it up. Oh, it looks beautiful. And then we're just gonna unwrap. Being very careful when you pull the plastic wrap off. Just like that. Oh, doesn't that look beautiful? Let's garnish it with a few basil leaves. Look really pretty with the reds and the greens and the white of the cream cheese. Put a few basil leaves on our plate. That should do it. What do you think? Doesn't it look great? The red of the sun-dried tomatoes and the green of the pesto, and then the pine nuts sprinkled on top with the cream cheese underneath. You and Philadelphia cream cheese are going to be a hit at your next party. Make this recipe and your friends will think you are, for sure, the best gourmet chef they've ever met. It's delicious. Absolutely, hands down, my favorite go-to recipe. What do you think, boys?
It's awesome, Mom. It's my favorite, Mom.